MC Mikey. MC
Hey everyone, welcome to a Will Santana Films review, and today we are doing the 2014 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh yeah, and I got my good friend John over here, highly requested from the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes review.
Hey.
Welcome back, John.
Hey, what's going on, Will?
Not much, man. Let's just really quick, do you have any back history with the Ninja Turtles?
Not so much. I mean, when I was a kid, I was just like everybody else. I had a couple of the figures. I was a not Donatello, but Michelangelo fan myself. I had nunchucks.
Okay. See, I was more of a Donatello guy growing up, but I never had any of the toys, but I did watch the cartoon.
Right.
But I wasn't a die-hard fan of the cartoon. I watched episodes here, and I've probably seen a good, probably half of them, you know?
Right.
So I know some of the smaller characters like Irma, Casey Jones and stuff, you know. I remember the Turtle Van had more purpose, you know, in the cartoon. Yeah. And then the 90s movies, I was a big fan of. You know, I was a big fan. I love the music and to the first two movies. Mm-hmm. We don't need to get into the third movie. That's yeah. Yeah. Were you a fan of the original 90s movies?
Yeah, I did. I did like the first one. I believe the first one introduced Casey Jones right off the bat.
Yeah, right off the bat. Yeah. Casey was in it.
Casey Jones was in there, and of course April O'Neil, but I don't remember Irma.
Irma was not in the original movie. She was only in the cartoons.
That's probably why I didn't watch the cartoons.
Yeah, she was that nerd with the glasses and the ponytail. She looked like a straight secretary from Ghostbusters or something.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen it. I don't remember it though.
Okay, so let's get into the 2014 version. Here we go. Okay, well, so the 2014 version was directed by Jonathan Liebman. I think that's how it's pronounced. Yeah. Something like that, guys. And it starred Megan Fox, Will Arnett, and William Fichtner. William Fichtner,
yeah.
He's been around for a while. Will Arnett, I thought it was kind of a weird choice, but he's always kind of done a comedy type role.
That's his role, comic relief.
He played the same type of role, and I think he actually delivered in this one. He was pretty funny, even though he was very limited in the movie.
He definitely helped your girl.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox push her character along with his.
Why is that my girl? I'm not a Megan Fox fan.
Not you particularly. I mean, generally, people watch the movie because Megan Fox. Some people did because of the Turtles. Some watched for Megan Fox. I'm not a big Megan Fox fan myself, but Will Arnett made it easier for her dialogue to, you know what I'm saying, kind of not look so lackluster.
Now, there was a big controversy when she was announced she was playing April. Yeah. A lot of the die-hard fans were upset because they felt from Transformers she's just an eye candy type actress.
She looks good on film. That's about it.
Do you feel she gave the character of April O'Neil justice in this movie?
Not at all.
Not at all?
I mean, off the top of my head, I mean, you didn't even ask me, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Emma Stone, I think would have been the perfect April. Fit for April.
She would have been. Personally,
you know, I mean, somebody with some actual depth to them. You know what I mean? Somebody that could probably carry that role as far as dealing with some turtles, man.
Now, I don't think April ruined, not April, but Megan ruined the movie. I felt she did okay. She did better than my expectations. Was she the perfect April O'Neil? Of course not. They could have did better. Personally, she was there again for eye candy. But she didn't ruin the character. But April O'Neil, her role with the Ninja Turtle, I think is very, very important compared to Michaela was to Shia LaBeouf. Okay. She was just a wingman. April actually brings the whole story in every Ninja Turtle thing that I've ever seen. Yeah. You know, she's that mediator between the humans and the mutants, you know? Yeah. So that's just my opinion. But the movie's basically the same type of story pretty much. You know, you got your Shredder, the enemy, the Turtles have the back history. They learn karate, martial arts, I'm sorry, from Splinter.
Right.
You know, April's a struggling reporter trying to get it big out there, and she's the one who's covering the story, and she's getting all the clues to the Foot Clan and Shredder. William, what was it? Sachs?
Yeah.
What was his first name? Was it William Sachs?
Eric.
Eric Sachs, yeah. Played by William Fichtner. So she's the one who's kind of putting the whole movie together. She's the one that brings the Ninja Turtles into the movie. So Megan Fox's character is very valuable, you know?
Definitely a conduit. I mean, because then everybody's seen the movie by now, right? So no spoiler alerts. So how at the end of the movie, how she's tied into their origin.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The genesis, if you will. How her father was responsible for the mutation to begin with. Okay. Now she starts piecing it together, like went on the rooftop and he says Donatello. It kind of clicks, light bulb goes off. And then Raphael, she hears the name Raphael, she repeats it to herself again, Raphael. It's like she was piecing it together then. Then they kind of bring it back around full circle, like you were actually there the day, you know, the mutagen took place with the, you know, the fire and everything in the building.
Okay. So okay, we pretty much got on the actors already.
Right.
Now, what about the Turtles themselves? A lot of people complained how they looked at first. They weren't happy. But then as the movie was released, I really didn't hear too many complaints. A lot of people thought they looked too CG. Did you feel that way?
Nah, I can't say that. I mean, out of all of them, Raphael probably looked the most reptilian.
I thought they made him too big.
Yeah,
he was too swole.
He was definitely the swollest and the most like reptilian, just from the spots and the, you know, the roughness of his, you know, his texture. And I don't know if that was just to put emphasis on his, you know, his brash delivery throughout the whole movie or not, but I didn't see anything wrong with with that.
I would say 3 out of the 4 Turtles, no complaints.
3 out of the 4.
3 out of the 4. Donatello, I had major issues with in this movie. You know,
they played him.
To me, in the cartoon and the original movies back in the 90s, Donatello was a soldier first. Even though he was always a nerd and the computer whiz of the group, he still was. He was a soldier. Right. This one, they kind of made him like he was scared and wuss, and I think the goggles and all that. They went too far with the nerdy-ish, you know?
Yeah, I spotted a couple things with that too, just like his whole physical demeanor. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like even his shoulders were kind of sunk in, like he had low self-esteem. They go around whooping people in the dark. How dare you? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you even pull that off? How do you manage to make a mutant ninja turtle it seemed like he has psychological issues? There shouldn't be anything wrong with. He's a mutant for one. There's enough human characteristics in him as it is. So why try to make it seem like he has to be not just a dork or a nerd, but he also has to have like a lack of self-esteem? Like that doesn't even. So even his muscles were smaller than the rest of them as well. Yeah. Like even like you say from the original movies, Donatello wasn't just a nerd. He was just smart. Yeah. It was cool to be smart at some point, is it not? I mean, I didn't see nothing wrong with that.
Splinter, I had no problems with. I liked Splinter in the movie. The only thing I didn't like was how he learned martial arts, you know, where I don't know the comic book, how he came about, but I know in the cartoon he was a human first. Right. And then I know in the 90s movie he learned from in the cage, which I thought was kind of ridiculous too. A rat learning martial arts in a cage, but in this one he just learned from a book, you know. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna stick with the cartoon version the best. Yeah. You know, where he was already human, knew martial arts. So that was my favorite version of him learning. Shredder. Great bad guy. I just didn't like his look in this movie. I thought he was a mixture of Megatron and Baraka from Mortal Kombat. I just thought he looked so generic and so fake. But for modern time, he did look badass.
Yeah, I mean, but we've already seen it though. I mean, you can't put a character like that in a movie by Michael Bay coming off of Transformers.
True, that's true.
That. I mean, you got to either tone it down and go a totally different route.
Do you sense at all in this movie it had that Michael Bay look?
Oh, absolutely. It definitely had that dramatic. Then it's in New York. Okay. So it's kind of easy to bring that feel out with the tall buildings, the concrete, you know what I'm saying, the violence, you know, let it be told. But definitely a strong Michael Bay film.
Now, so we don't seem like we're trashing the movie because we both really did like the movie. Yeah, we both liked it. So it don't seem, it's just that we kind of both have history with the cartoons, toys, or whatever in the old 90s movies. So we have our little nitpicks. What did you like about the movie with no spoilers?
Well, the main thing is just there was the one part with when they came together in the sewer right before right before the issue with Splinter. And the camaraderie, man. I mean, the only reason I watched Ninja Turtles was to see them fight. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have their little conflict within the group. They're gonna figure it out. Whatever situation they're in, they'll find a way to, you know what I'm saying, come together at the end. So I've always enjoyed watching them just do their thing, man.
There was a lot of things I liked about it. I liked the movie was kept under 2 hours. It had a lot of good flow to it. You know, like the movie was very consistent. Scenes did not drag.
Okay.
I thought it was well edited. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't get bored on a certain scene, and it kept going. Like you start off with April, and you're like, oh, when the Ninja Turtles are gonna come? Boom, they were here already. Boom, there's Shredder. Boom, there's Sax. Boom, there's Splinter. It just everything kept popping pretty quick, and then like when the movie got too serious, Will Arnett would pop back in, make you laugh. Or Michelangelo would do something to make you laugh. It had the hip hop in there. It had them being skateboarders, them being teenagers. When they were first, everything. I think the movie flowed really well.
They were definitely targeting a certain demographic.
You know, which was really good compared to, I don't know if you saw the last Transformers, the Age of Extinction. That movie was just way too long for me. I was really struggling. You know, and I felt this one was well paced, it was well put together, the action was fun, the movie was funny, it had its comedy. Overall, I would probably give the movie 3.5 out of 5.
I'd give it a 3. I mean, Nickelodeon movie, man. I mean, they did the best that they could with a storyline that's been around for years. You really can't mess it up, right? So as long as you follow the basis with the camaraderie within the Turtles, tell a good storyline though. They've tried to change it so many times with these Ninja Turtles, and it seems like each time they kind of tweak it to a point where you might lose some of the original fans. I mean, I stuck around and watched it because of the great, you know, entertainment. Like you said, the comedy was there, the transition from one scene to the next. I mean, it was a good movie overall, but if you're a true Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, I'm pretty sure you found some gripes in there here and there, but overall, it's a good movie to see. Okay, well now on to the visual part of the Blu-ray.
Basically, I would definitely say colors were vibrant. The movie was really dark, but it was shot very well. The cameras were clean. It was a clean HD look to it, you know, and the movie went from the city life to dark sewer, to the snow in the mountains and everything. It looked really sharp. The CG, can't complain. And you can even tell that they used the 3D aspect to some of the scenes, you know, to where they were trying to make things pop out. How do you feel about the visual?
I didn't see any issues. You were talking about the 3D. I don't think you spoke about it yet, but as far as the colors, the turtles themselves were darker. They seemed like they were a little darker as opposed to everything else. I guess the way they had to record it to make it fit on that green screen. But everything from the popping out with the bow staff from Donatello to the sounds when Raphael put the sides out of his side. Everything it seemed like it got brighter when, you know, like the action would get brighter and then it would dim. It was like the way the lighting contrasted to the scene each time. If it was a lighter scene, the lights were more vibrant. If it was a darker scene, you know what I mean? So.
And I thought that the movie transitioned really well from the bright scenes in the city to dark in the sewer, and then back to the bright of the white snow mountain. You know, if you're watching it in 2D, you're gonna love it 100%. I would give it a 4.5 for the 2D. The 3D does darken because of the glasses makes a little tint to it. You know what I'm saying? So it does darken it up just a tad bit. The movie has some pop outs here and there with the snow, the rain, the weapons. You know. Few of the stuff was gimmicky when Splinter put the pizza like that toward Michelangelo. Some of the stuff was gimmicky, shouldn't have been there, but for the diehard 3D fans,
I guess you kind of had to do it.
Yeah, you gotta force it sometimes. But overall, the 3D was pretty solid. I would give it up 4. The depth is good throughout the movie of the 3D. They didn't slack on that.
Nah, I agree, especially with the 3D. I give it a 4. I give it a 4 overall. I didn't see, like I said, you gotta have a certain TV though. You can't come to my house and watch it and then have any issues with the color. We'd just be happy to watch Ninja Turtles on TV. You know what I mean? So I come to Woodhouse and I see it on this, you're like, damn, the color does look better in Blu-ray. You know what I mean? So we gotta sit here and talk about something like that. In my home, you know, we just talking about how good of a movie it is. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, man. You gotta check it out. You gotta check it out.
Audio was solid, man. My subwoofer was blowing up with the action, the surround sound. It was everywhere, man. The swords clinging, and Johnny Knoxville does a voice for Leo.
Right.
The sound, dialogue is clean, it's clear. You don't have no troubles hearing anybody, even Splinter, even though he kind of like drags his voice a little bit. I have no problem, no issues with the audio. You hear the explosions, you know?
None.
So, what would you score the audio? I'll give it another 4.5.
The audio? Yeah, let's go with 4.5. Now my take on the audio. Everything was crisp and clear. My only issue, is Splinter Asian descent? Is he Japanese or is he, I've never known if he was Japanese or Chinese.
I'm not 100% sure, but in here, he's just a rat.
So that's what I mean. Like you mentioned last time, as him being a man once before. Was it Japanese?
I believe it was Japanese. I believe so. And in the 90s version, he learned from a Japanese master. But this one, he had no master. He was just a regular New York sewer rat that learned from a book.
Go figure.
Yeah, so they had a little racist stereotype in there, but
4.5 for the audio.
4.5. And the only reason why I deduct 0.5, you didn't have no Turtle Power track in there and no Vanilla Ice Ninja Rap.
How dare you? You can't remix something like that for one. During the time that you can't say it was timeless. It was a timepiece. That song there. So you can't really remove that song from that time era and try to apply it anywhere else in history musically.
Yeah, man. Juicy J and Wiz Khalifa's Shell Sock track. Nah, it didn't do it no justice.
I didn't even know that song existed until I came here.
Well, guys, you know, we hope you enjoyed our Ninja Turtles review. I think it's worth picking up. It's a pretty good movie. It's worth getting on 3D. The 3D one's a little pricey, so if it's out of your price range, just go 2D, guys. No big deal. It's definitely worth buying, in my opinion. You know, the kids are gonna love it. The die-hard fans of the toys and cartoons, they're gonna nitpick. I already know that. You can't stop that, because I did it with Transformers.
Indeed.
So, but I think they still enjoy it though. Yeah,
I mean, overall, I mean, like you say, even if you're not a die-hard Ninja Turtle fan, I mean, it's 4 Ninja Turtles that know karate. Yeah, there's some entertainment value there. I mean, so go check it out. I mean, the colors there, like you said, is very vibrant, but you gotta have a certain type of TV for it. If you don't, then I mean, just enjoy the movie for what it is.
All right, so guys, I want to thank John for coming out here, and
thank you for having me.
Appreciate y'all taking the time to watch it. We'll have more reviews coming up, and I'm outro like a CD.
All right now.